the middle. Like in the middle right there. This is bad language.
I know.
Put it in the middle. Okay. Excuse me. Sorry.
Good.
Yes. Jesus. I don't know. Do you think it, guys? Jesus, do you think this looks better here? I feel like from the middle perspective, it's better. Hold on.
Sure. That's fine.
I feel like the middle perspective is fine. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the middle perspective is better than the side.
Yeah. Whatever.
Because we're gonna be talking. I keep zooming in on accident.
Yeah, I don't know why it keeps doing
There. Okay, it's on record, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for attending. My name is Blake Henshaw. I'm with Walsh Gagos Law Firm, and I am the host today. And we're proud to have with us today the students from Aransas Pass ISD who are going to be talking about the Panther Perspective, a podcast, which is, I'm so glad I got to be in this room because I was a radio DJ all through college. And so we're not even country, KORE, or real country music. So perfect hookup, and I'm going to turn it over to you guys. Thank y'all so much.
Great.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to the Panther Perspective. My name is Randy, and happy to be here in TASB's conference, Galveston, Texas. All right, let's get started. Yeah, this is the Panther's Perspective. So meet the staff. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So my name is Randy Rangel. I'm a sophomore. This is Odyssey Sanchez, he's a senior. This is Jesus Rodriguez, he's a senior as well. This is Luis Ramirez, he's a junior. This is our wonderful sponsor, Dr. Worley. And this is Audrina Scott, I'm sorry, she's a junior. Yeah, I'm gonna pass it to you.
Can't do anything. Okay, so we're from Aransas Pass ISD, and we're completely student-led. We have administration support, but we do everything ourselves. Our agenda today, where's the little clicker? Our agenda today is we're going to talk about how we started this, like our production process, the impact we've had on education so far throughout our school, and the future of the Panther Perspective, and how we are going to grow next year. Okay, so I'm going to talk about how we initially started. So we started out with simple vlogs. Okay, so my team member Audrina Scott would walk around at football games, walk around the school, just vlogging students, vlogging obviously with permission, but vlogging students, vlogging us, and she would literally, so we're yearbook staff too, so she would shove her phone camera in our faces and ask us many questions. But obviously our vlogs weren't very professional. It was just students talking to students. So it wasn't perceived as like a school thing. So that kind of like got shut down. I'm gonna let Audrina talk a little bit about why she vlogged, what she was doing with that.
Okay, hi, my name's Audrina. It's basically kind of what she said. I'm like a type of person where I like to hear other people's inputs a lot. And I enjoy hearing other people's like perspectives. So I would just go around and follow everyone and kind of just see like how they see our school and like our yearbook and stuff like that, and get information off of them. And that's kind of how our vlogs were. And then we turned that into kind of a podcast. And I thought it was really fun and stuff. And then editing, he kind of did all of it. But I don't know, I just enjoyed it and I thought it was really cool.
Okay, so now I'm going to talk a little bit about how we got support. So last year we did the vlogs, and then over the summer we are a yearbook staff, like I said, so we plan our yearbook ahead of time. So we're like, we really want to do this podcast, let's plan it. So I'm a senior and so is Jesus, so we're really focused on this year. And so at the end of the year, we were coming up with ideas, ways we could start. Dr. Worley was talking to our superintendent about how we could get this started. So we have an Instagram for our podcast, we have a Facebook, and we're affiliated with our yearbook. And our yearbook Instagram is really popular. We post almost all media on there. So during the summer, Jesus researched our studio equipment, and we were trying to figure out how to budget our equipment because our budget is shared with our yearbook budget. So we were like thinking of designs, thinking of logos, thinking about how we can make a set schedule to post every other Monday. Our first episode premiered on October 14th, 2024, and we interviewed our superintendent, Dr. Barnes over here, and the principal of our high school. We wanted this to be our first episode to really like establish who we were, what we were, how we're student led, and basically make it seem legit, because like those are legit people. So when we launched, we got great feedback from our community. We posted on all the social medias we have. So parents were seeing this and they thought it was super cool to see students talking to their administrators and students talking in general. So we got covered by our local Chris 6 News, and we had someone come interview us and ask us basically about everything we're talking about here. The Aransas Past Progress was talking about us, and TASB Daily. And then we got invited to come talk to all of you. And now we're going to talk about our production process, which is our director, Jesus, who knows all about that. So I'm going to let him take over.
Hello, my name is Jesus. So I'm the director of the Panther Perspective. And so last year we started planning and discussing how this podcast would be set up. So last year, at the end of last year, we started painting. Our students started painting a kitchen that was no longer working, and made it into our podcast room and setup. In the beginning of this year, we started researching studio equipment. Right here, you can see our mics. This is an arm right here, and this is our mic, and this is our arm. We have some cables and stuff that we connect everything to. And that's our setup. So then, and then we edit and record everything in-house. Editing is pretty simple. We just like cut off the bloopers and stuff, and because there's a lot of bloopers, right? And then the staff actually, I let the staff select who gets on the podcast and stuff because I don't want it to be just all about me. So. Randy, do you want to? All right.
So me and Louise will actually talk about that. So when we pick people, I mean, it's really not hard. It's just whatever's going on in our school. See, like the first one, we did that to like start it off, and everybody knows we all love Dr. Barnes. So that was obviously our first one. See, our second episode, student balance. See. The student right there, he talked about how he balances his job, playing sports, and going to school. So we did that one because I feel like a lot of people could relate to that. And then our third episode, our coach, he actually wanted to talk about his coaching style and to hype up people to come to our last game. And I really respect it. And episode 4, that student right there, it's actually funny because our logo, he actually helped us do our logo. He works for many big corporations, and he's a graphic designer. It's really cool. And then our 5th episode, FAFSA, we did it to help all the seniors that don't know how to do their FAFSA, to help them get money for college, and it really helped them. And then our 6th was that was my favorite, to be honest, our basketball season. I loved that. That was my friends. Yeah, I'm the basketball manager. And, we went pretty far this year in playoffs. Our seventh episode, they were brothers, and they talked about how it is going to school with each other, like how the pros and cons. And then actually, I thought this was very interesting. The Special Olympics, it was the life skill kids. I didn't even know that was a thing, to be honest. I didn't know that they could, they had like sports. They actually went to regionals. It's very impressive. And then recently, we got a new athletic director. So we wanted to talk to him and see how he likes us so far. That was his first week. And we like to be really inclusive. Like recently, you want to?
Hello, my name is Luis, and well, we do have an episode coming out, our 10th episode. It is very inclusive. It's a bilingual episode, which includes students from foreign countries that really don't understand English too much and that come here to have a better life. And so I wanted to interview them, ask them how it is, the differences from their countries and here, their opportunities that are now presented to them. And well, I personally think it's are going to be our best episode, maybe because it has me. Yeah. Well, finding out who's going to be on the episodes is really not hard. We have many students that just want to be in the podcast, and well, I think it's amazing. I really enjoy meeting with students, faculties, and well, getting to know everybody in APISD, you know? Just our Panther family, I guess.
See, even now we're doing a vlog on our like mini early spring break vacation. Yeah, me and Audrina, we're seeing who's gonna be better. It's mine for sure. Oh, here you go, ma'am.
All right, again, my name is Dr. Worley. I am their advisor. I literally have nothing to do with anything that they do. This is, I'm a big mama bear right now. I'm really happy, I'm proud of them. But these are just some of the analytics that we have. We are on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, every social media outlet there is. We do have an increased view that keeps going up every week, which is really, really nice. Because again, since it is run by the students, we promote it very heavily on social media sites so that way they can see what's going on in our district. And so right now, with all of them combined, we have over 7,234 viewers, which is really great since we've just started in October. So we see that as a big plus. Again, we're on YouTube, which has 17%. Facebook has about 4.5%, almost 5%, and Spotify, we're still kind of getting up there. We're still babies in that one. It's only 1%. But again, if anybody goes to our APISD website, they have the links to all of the social media sites that you can watch and actually see these wonderful young men and women in action. You know, one big thing that I have seen as their advisor is a huge impact on the way that they have viewed education and how it has changed their perception of learning. Because I don't even know if they realize half the time that they are learning. So they have, again, learned how to research on equipment and cost and budgeting, what we can and can't do, what we have as far as space. To tape our little podcast. Right now we are actually taping this session so we can post it. So it is hopefully going to go up this week. The audiovisual equipment that they use, you know, a lot of the software, the microphones, how to hook up soundboards. And we're all learning this as we go because I'll be very honest, I had no clue what they were talking about. All I knew was social media, Facebook. I'm an old person. And I don't say old, I say seasoned. You know, it was really interesting to see. And again, Jesus being him, he was always really passionate about doing this. And so were all, honestly the rest of them. But he's the one who was passionate as far as learning and seeing what kind of equipment we needed to get out there to do it. Again, he learned how to do, and he's teaching how to do the whole editing process. So that's really interesting. Since I am actually a marketing major in a previous life, I'm trying to help them show how to do the marketing and the promotion of these. And it's really neat because they don't even realize, again, that they are doing it by word of mouth. Every time they get somebody out there and they start talking about this, that is all 5 of them marketing, this. And so I hope that they see this. Time management, I cannot stress enough how, again, sorry, it's really cold right now, how well they manage their time with this. All of them have jobs. All of them are involved in sports. I have 2 of my seniors who are actually top 10 seniors. I have the valedictorian right here, and I have another top 10 student right here. Same with my other underclassmen. They are, to me, the cream of the crop, because they do take such pride and joy in what they do. And again, these 5 also produce the yearbook. So they have double duty. We have a yearbook, don't forget guys, due in 2 weeks. So we're trying to get that done. And again, I can't even stress public speaking enough, because they are actually getting to talk to you today and learning how to speak so eloquently. And they do that at school too. This is the way that they are. And then teamwork, I cannot stress the teamwork. And I think someone said it earlier, how we are a little family. We really do take care of each other. We watch each other. Like I said, I'm a big mama bear with my kids, and so I will make sure that they are all okay all the time. So yeah, I'm really happy. Again, these students are 100% empowered to speak as they wish, within reason. They know what their limits are, but again, I do not get involved, Dr. Barnes does not get involved, our principal does not get involved. As a matter of fact, I thought it was kind of funny the other day when I was talking to our principal about coming up to this. He actually looked at me, he goes, so how many episodes have y'all done? And what have y'all, and I said, well, look on here, and look it up. And so he knew what was going on. He just wanted to see if I knew what was going on. But it was really nice because, again, there's complete autonomy on this, and there's also trust, and that's huge. I can absolutely trust these 5 with anything, and that's big. I let them choose their topics. I do look at it and make sure that it is school appropriate and district appropriate, but we haven't had any issues yet. And again, this podcast was really meant to give our district and our community a voice, and these students a voice. And I think that's what it's really done. I think it's really helped them explain who they are and what kind of district we are. It's really easy for outside people of the community to hear things and then repeat things that probably are not true, as you all may know, as school employees and board members. And so to have the students come out and actually squash a lot of those issues and rumors that are going on, I think is really helpful. And so that's why we also ask administration to come in, directors, athletic directors and so forth, because we actually want to let people know that we are a district that we are proud of. And that's what these 5 absolutely represent. So next year, because I also teach graphic design in the school, we, like I said, only have 5 amazing students, and so I have been recruiting since August. for next year. And so next year, it looks like we'll be growing from 10 to about 10 to 15 extra students. So that's amazing, and it's because of what these 5 have been able to produce and to represent our district in. Like I said, to me, they are the cream of the crop. So when other students see how wonderful they are and what they're doing for our district, they want to kind of get on board and start learning and doing it as well. We would like to increase our little studio. Like we said, it's a makeshift studio that we have of an old kitchen that used to exist back when home economics existed. Our background, I don't know if anybody really saw it yet or not, but our little purple background is a shower curtain. And again, because we do share our budget with yearbook and podcast, you have to watch how much we spend. So it's kind of fun. And then we didn't know if we wanted to do a roundtable discussion, if we wanted a sofa, what types. We ended up with 2 really nice comfy chairs. Hopefully, Dr. Barnes, they were comfy. But yeah, we had 2, so it's a nice little intimate setting. Yeah. All right. I started talking.
Does anyone have any questions?
Yes.
So do y'all you're strictly online, or is there a way that y'all play it through the school, like TVs or something like that, if y'all have that system? Or is it just strictly online?
It is just strictly online. We don't have school TVs.
Yeah, not everybody does.
Yeah, it's just strictly online, and we really post it on our Instagrams and encourage students to watch, and parents, because parents like to see what kids are doing. Yes, ma'am.
Is this podcast meant to be advertised to the public, not just your school, or is it for the school?
It can be. So here's an example. We just got a new athletic director, and he was applying obviously and wanted to know about our community. So he actually watched our first podcast episode to see who our superintendent was, to see who our principal was. So I feel like it could really be used for any opportunity just to know about our school if you're moving to Aransas Pass, because it is about our community and our high school.
As far as wanting to expand and get more gear, so have you considered community partnerships, sponsorships, donors, donations?
Yeah, that's a neat question. Yeah, I actually have, we've actually been kind of talking, we've been trying to find ways of getting sponsors to come in. I have even suggested to a couple that we have on sponsoring ad time, and came up with a very minimal price list. It was kind of even highway robbery, but it was just to kind of get it started. Unfortunately, no one's taken us up on it yet, so we do little side odd jobs to raise money to do things that we need to do, to get some equipment, things like that. Because again, since I do have to split my budget between a yearbook, graphic design class, and with this, we want to make sure that we're getting what we need, but not overspending at the same time. Yes, ma'am.
Have you applied for your education foundation?
Not yet. That's coming up at the end of the school year. Yeah. So believe me, that will be done, because there's a lot more that we would like to do and take. I mean, one of the things that we really want to do is take this on the road to other campuses, and so that's going to require different equipment for us. And so until we can get that, it'll absolutely. But that's our goal. As far as growing, and so I'm hoping with the extra amount of students coming in next year, we can actually start doing that. I'm guessing.
Do you plan on making this a separate class?
So I'm trying. I'm working with the counselors right now to see if that can happen for next year. Don't know. I'm not going to talk on that topic. Yes, ma'am.
Is there any specific advice or something y'all wish y'all would have done differently in starting the podcast, or advice you would give to somebody starting out a podcast?
I definitely think one main thing is staying consistent, because we are all super busy. So sometimes we do slack off. But I feel like the more consistent we stay with this and the more work we put into it, the better it will be. So that's just like the main thing for me, at least, because we're high schoolers. We get a little lazy, you know? We're seniors already.
I got senioritis already.
Y'all have had it for a few years.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a newspaper as well, or are you more focused just on the digital?
It's just digital. Our school doesn't have a newspaper.
Do any of you have interest in media after high school?
Not really. I do this as a hobby. Like, yearbook's fun.
Yeah, I think it's more of a hobby for everyone. I think we kind of talked about this with each other.
Yeah.
Like, it's more of a get together for all of us because we've been all really close as like growing together. So I think it is really just a hobby for
And
everyone.
we're all pretty school involved and outgoing, so it's honestly just like talking to the students at our school. Like, being in yearbook, we get to interview, we're taking pictures, and the podcast, kids are asking to come on it. So I think it's just more fun. Yes, sir.
You talked about the shower curtain and that. I'm wondering what other things y'all do to like fake it till you make it, that kind of thing.
Fake plants.
Or
Fake plants with some marbles.
our floor is black paper.
With blue tape.
Yeah, blue tape.
It looks
black
real
paper.
profesh on the camera. It does. It does.
What about noise disturbance, like soundproofing?
We don't have any.
So there's actually like, we share it with like a classroom, and there's a restroom and it connects to a kitchen. So sometimes there's like a toilet flush in there, and I think he just cuts that out.
If you listen close, you can probably hear some people talking and stuff.
And again, that's where our budget hopefully will take it next year.
Yes, ma'am.
So kind of for you in terms of the editing side to it, how do you go about that? Like what softwares do you use?
So yeah, I use Premiere Pro, and it's pretty simple. It's just I already have the template set up, so like the intro and outro is there, and then I just edit the main clip, making sure to take out the bloopers, and that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Do you plan on like addressing big issues with like your school or your district in the podcast, or is it mainly just meant to be like fun?
Well, I think honestly, I think yes and no, because I feel like we don't want to have any like drama or anything because we don't want to get shut down or anything.
Yeah.
But yes, sometimes.
I think it could be brought up in an appropriate way, but mainly it is for fun, and it's called the Panthers perspective, so to get students' perspective and anyone in the Panther family. So hopefully when we go to other campuses, it'd be like kids, obviously with permission, kids and other teachers.
And just to let you know, we work very closely, I'm going to use my teacher voice, with our communications department as far as I let her know what we're getting ready to, Blaze Miller, hi. I let her know what we're getting ready to do for that week as far as the topics, and so that way she can also kind of say yes or, oh, we should kind of maybe, but again, honestly, we don't have anything to do with what they do. And just to let you know, I've had Odyssey and Jesus for 4 years, so I'm gonna cry happy tears when they leave. I'm joking, I'm really gonna miss them, they are my babies. I've had Audrina now for 3 years. Randy I've had for 2 years, and Luis, he's our first timer, but I tell you what, he has done an amazing job. He will be taking over Jesus's part next year as far as production because he is just that good. He didn't know it, and so he's
all I am.
Because he has been so willing to learn and willing to help out, and so I just feel like he is the right person for this position. And I know that Jesus and I have also talked about this as well. But again, we really do work. These five and myself really are a little family. In the summers, I text them all the time saying, hey, are y'all ready to work on the yearbook? Let's start working on the yearbook type of a thing. Let's start getting things ready. And they're probably looking at or rolling their eyes, texting me back going, sure. But again, I have enough trust in them that I don't have to watch what they're doing 24/7. I literally give them the autonomy that they need to learn and grow on their own and do it and make it happen, and they do. So that's their commitment.
Anyone else? Yes.
I have a question. So, how many hours go into producing a single episode?
Okay, so filming usually takes like an hour.
Yeah, our episode is maybe like an hour of film, and then editing another hour, just like review the whole footage, obviously, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And then just waiting for things to download and upload, and that's, yeah.
And this is done on your own time.
I feel like, yeah, it's like we don't have a class for it, so it's kind of just like throughout the day, like if you get an idea, write it down.
Yeah.
Like start writing things down throughout the week, and then eventually, yeah, he does the editing by himself.
Yeah, I just do it at home, because I don't got time.
We usually film like every Friday.
Yeah, we try. I call them Film Fridays. I try to make this a thing, because we weren't being consistent, and I feel like that's so important. So Film Fridays is our new thing.
Sorry, I have another one. I'm obsessed. Okay, bringing the level down a little bit. Y'all cover a lot of really like, nice topics and happy topics. Are y'all interested in going deeper into things that affect teenagers, like, I don't know, drug abuse, that sort of thing?
I definitely think that could be talked about appropriately, maybe with me as the host, but it honestly just depends. I feel like, what do y'all think
Well,
about
that's the soup. What else? That's you, right? Are you going to allow them to go a little deeper with the topics if they're informative?
I think, it just depends on what they want. I mean, also it's appropriate.
Right.
And, I mean, they've done a great job, the thing is for it to be student-led.
Yeah.
So I don't want to influence in any way to say, well, I think this is what you guys should talk about, or.
I also think another thing, like what he's saying also, is like maybe if we did cover something deeper, we obviously bring students on. So if a student is willing to share a story or to bring the topic up, not just us sit in front of the camera and talk about a topic. So that's like also another thing. Because I mean, we did a episode like with our coach, and he was talking about his life and his coaching style and how that impacted his coaching style. And it did get a little deep, I think, but in an appropriate way where he like backtracked into a positive.
When you talk about makeup of the group or the club, I don't know how y'all have it set up, but when you talk about expanding, how are the new members coming about? Are you inviting them, or are they just volunteering, or?
So they must have taken my class at least a year, and there's an application process that we go through. Actually, Jesus came up with the application process last year, and it's a long one. But it's because we wanted to make sure that we have the right people. So we're actually going to start taking applications when we get back after spring break. There are students that I've already spoken to in class that have said yes, they want to get involved. And so then what we will do is look over the applications, and no one's rejected, it's just we want to see who they are. And so the three of us will actually, the two seniors and myself, we'll sit down and we'll look at the applications coming up and seeing, who's applying, and just kind of really let them know what this is, that it is a two job. They have to work on the yearbook and podcast because we do try and fit the two together. And even our yearbook this year is really positive. We have a lot of positive words that we're using, and so that's what we wanted to really do with the podcast as well, is kind of continue that.
Yeah, like we're trying to change our school's culture. Like, I necessarily wouldn't say it's not a positive school, but it definitely could be more positive, and students could participate more. So that's really what we're trying to do.
The reason I ask is we have a live broadcasting club. So they broadcast the football games, the basketball games.
Oh, that's so cool.
They are a club, and that's what they do, but they're not forward facing. They're not in front of the camera. They're behind the camera. So it's a little bit different. I'm trying to figure out how to get it, the opposite to get it to turn around.
As you can tell, I have really shy students who don't like to talk or be in front of the camera. So, but no, I think that they enjoy actually, getting out there and actually communicating with the students and actually, interacting with them and things like that. Which again has really helped, I think, the program start to grow. I've only been doing this, and we've only had the podcast this year. This is our first year. I've been teaching graphic design and yearbook. This is my 4th year now. So I'm still new, and I learn from them because, again, being seasoned, not old, seasoned, I don't know a lot of the terminology sometimes, and I don't know how to work a lot of this equipment, and so I get to learn from them as well, which is really fun.
Oh, sorry.
No,
I mean,
okay.
so with your broadcasting thing, are you trying to turn it around, kind of?
I'm trying to get them to do an offshoot.
So maybe just like starting with point of view, like broadcasting something and then bringing in whoever is broadcasting at their point of view of doing that.
Because right now our club consists of, the cameraman, the sound man, all that, they're all students. Now, the actual people talking are usually parents, they're volunteers.
Yeah.
They're actually, the announcers for the football game, the announcers for the volleyball, or what have you. Those are usually parents that have volunteered. I'm trying to turn it into completely students. Obviously there's a little more articulate and things that need to happen to do, a sporting event, because it's long and it's in-depth. But if we can get an offshoot to start putting kids in front of the camera, I think it'll be a little easier to work into that.
Yeah, I would definitely look for, like if you have spirit sections, students out of the spirit section, or just if students are asking, like if they want to volunteer, honestly, anything like that.
And I would suggest too, just like they let them see what they're doing, because it's fun. It seems like to me when I watch all the episodes, they're having fun, and like school is supposed to be fun, right? It's not supposed to be so heavy, and they can see kids their age having fun. Like I sent it to my nephew in Atlanta, just because he's a freshman in high school. Just give them ideas of what kids can do, and they can do it. And then you have a chance to share some contacts, right, with your students who can look at it and maybe reach out to them and see what they can do to.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's funny because we're purple and we're the Panthers.
Welcome to the family.
I do want to add something. So a personal goal I set for myself is I want to hit 15,000 views before schooling. So if y'all want to maybe help out, that'd be an amazing goal to complete.
Just watch it like 100 times.
But what if I could also recommend to you, if you would like, is maybe we can do a video chat with your students and our students. And actually have them collaborate together, and and they can see what we do, and then we can see what you guys do.
We kind of came from the opposite direction. We had a problem because we had COVID and things that led to the us needing to broadcast. And we had a local men's club that actually donated the gear. When they came to the school, found out what we needed, but then they donated the gear, and they've since upgraded it again.
Oh, that's so nice.
Can I give you our address?
We had the gear, but we didn't have the kids. Now we're trying to build the kids.
Right.
To fit the gear.
And we were the opposite. I had the kids and not the gear. And so now we're learning and we're starting to make it grow. And my room, the way I have it right now, and that's why we took over this kitchen. And just to let you know, they painted this kitchen by themselves.
A week of school. Last week of school last year.
They painted this kitchen to make it aesthetically pleasing, because it was an ugly blue. And they painted it themselves because they wanted to have they had a vision of what they wanted this room to look like. I know it wasn't a shower curtain, sorry guys, but yeah, it's okay. And so they really have worked to try and get it, and then, like I said, we get equipment as we see we need. And again, Jesus will come up to me and say, hey, can we get this? I'm just the person who writes the check and says, here, type of a thing, which is great. I mean, and again, I love how it's taught them how to do the budgeting and the researching of what they need, because, these are our future leaders right here. And they are going to do amazing things. Jesus is actually going to go to be an architectural engineer, has already been accepted into college for that. Odyssey is going into biology, medicine, something, we don't know yet. That's something in the science and biology field. And then, the other three will figure it out as we get closer to graduation, but that's okay. But you know, again, I think it's really helped them, and they're very much go-getters, and so that has really helped a lot with this program.
Anyone else?
I know I'm on the board. This is completely student-led, and we did not get in the weeds on this. So, how much did it cost to get the equipment that you currently have, and what would be the need that you see to have the program you desire?
I would say our equipment cost about a good $4,000-ish.
I think it's less.
I think it's a little less.
Well, but I'm trying to say that the computers that we use.
Oh, like with cameras and
To
everything?
be fair, we already had our cameras from yearbook. We use our
Right.
yearbook camera.
So I'm going back to equipment that we had to purchase, that we purchased last year, but we use, like, that's actually a yearbook camera that we're recording with. You know, and luckily it came with a microphone and a tripod. But, you know, laptops that we need.
But honestly, just like even our space, like not being in the kitchen would be kind of nice. Like having a room for it, like a cute little, not cute little room, but a nice room.
Soundproofing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, and again, I say that much because we've been really frugal with our money. Because again, I have to get yearbook equipment also.
And pay for the books.
And pay for our books. And I also needed stuff for the graphic design classes that I teach as well. So all that is combined with that. So, I mean, I actually just asked for a quote to get new laptops because the laptops that we have right now are about to go poof. And I think they're from 2017. So it's time. So I've already started looking into those.
Yeah,
and
new laptops would be good for y'all.
Right, and that right there is a $3,000 out of my budget that we're going to have to spend. We know we want, you know, a couple more microphones, better seating arrangement, you know, things like just little things like that that may not seem like a big deal, but it makes it aesthetically pleasing and it makes it inviting for someone to want to come in and actually sit down and, you know, do this. So, and again, luckily I'm a big tightwad, so I'm trying not, because he'll come up and he'll go, oh, I need this, and I'm like, let's find another one. So, but again, I mean, I do love the fact that they want to come and they ask, you know, can we have this? And I'm not one to say no a lot of the time. They wanted a coffee pot, I want a coffee pot.
Yes, ma'am.
What were some of the steps y'all took on, like before y'all started it to get it up, like on the admin side, like approval and stuff like that?
So that's a really great question. Because they had been shut down.
Yeah, okay, so like
previously.
little backstory. With our little vlogs, we would like talk about anything. Obviously, we're high schoolers. The inappropriate stuff got bleeped out, to be fair. But we like made like a TikTok, and yeah, vice principal said absolutely not. Literally an hours after we posted it, no, shut down completely. So we were like, okay, fine. So then that really like made us want to start the podcast. But like the admin side, that's with our communications department, Blaze.
And so what I did is I kind of ambushed our superintendent, Dr. Barnes, at graduation. And I figured that was a perfect time to get that. And so I'm kind of relentless. When I want something, I will go after it. And I spoke to him about it, and I said, look, I'd really like to get this podcast going. You know, I think it's really important, and it's going to feature more of the students and the district in a positive light. His immediate response was, sure, go, do it. I think he's probably trying to get rid of me also because it's graduation, which I get, I understand. But I immediately came home, I texted those two seniors, and I said, hey, guess what we're doing next year? I was so excited. I said, start looking and seeing what you need. So yeah, so that's how we kind of got started. Like I said, ambushing is great.
And like our Instagram and stuff, like that's all us. Like we have that on our accounts and like we post everything on Instagram. But like our APISD website, we obviously don't log into that. Like I don't even know. But we give it to our communications lady and she like puts it on there. Yeah. And pretty much.
Well, there's no further questions. Give it up for this. Is great. engage. And seeing things like that at this conference is amazing. I have your CEC number. I'm going to get that up for you guys. There we go.
I would watch it.